It will be my treat and not cost you anything. So, conductor was trying to make her comfort that if you don't have money, don't bother for the cost, just have the cold drink. But Wali was very determined and she just said no very firmly. No, no, no. She said firmly, please no. The conductor shrugged and they waited until it was time for the bus to begin the return journey. Again there weren't any passengers. So finally with that they kept waiting in the bus itself and the return journey was been just about to start, and finally the bus started moving back towards the on that return journey, and there were hardly any passengers in the bus. So, on the return journey, as the bus moved, since there were no passengers, the conductor made another question. He asked her, won't your mother be looking for you? The conductor asked when he gave the girl her ticket. So, she was given her a ticket by the conductor, and at the same time he asked her, he shared a concern that won't your mother be worried about you, won't she be looking for you, searching for you, you were being out for so long. No, no one will be looking for me, she said. So finally she just wanted to make him assured that there is nothing to bother about and nobody will be bothered for, so everything is in place, don't worry at all. The bus started and again there were the same wonderful sights. So the bus ride started and again she was been viewing outside the window and she was been enjoying all those beautiful sights which she had just seen while coming to the city. Wali wasn't bored in the slightest and greeted everything with the same excitement she had felt the first time. So, all those sights, she was not at all bored of all those sights. She was still having the same level of excitement because viewing outside, exploring the nature, finding the things moving and going away and coming closer was all beautiful for Wali. But suddenly she saw a young cow lying dead by the roadside, just where it had been stuck by some fast moving vehicle. Now she has just come across a young cow which was being dead and it was just been lying on the roadside. Some vehicle must have hit the cow and that's how the cow was being dead. Isn't that the same cow that ran in front of the bus on our trip to town? She asked the conductor. No, she was concerned and she was that sight of looking at a dead cow, she just recognized that it was probably the same young cow which was galloping when she was going towards the town on that journey which she took just before, and now she found the same cow to be dead, and it was been very heart touching and she was been sad finding that young cow which she seemed to be full of life, and she was cheering, she was clapping looking at that cow which was galloping with its tail being high, full of life. So now that same cow, same young cow was being laying dead. Now that was what had been a lovable, beautiful creature just a little while ago, had now suddenly lost its charm and its life and looked so horrible, so frightening as it lay there, legs spread eagled, a fixed stare in its lifeless eyes, blood all over, and it was all horrifying Wali because she found that a creature full of life is now being lifeless with blood been spreaded over all around. It was being badly hit. The eyes were being open. They were just staring at in a lifeless manner, and the legs were being spread like that. They were wide spreaded, and finally it was a horrifying and frightening scene for Vali, and she was not able to understand that how it can happen that just few minutes before this same cow was being so nice, so beautiful, so full of life, and now it is been dead. The bus moved on. The memory of the dead cow haunted her, dampening her enthusiasm. So finally all her excitement with which she was been looking out, she was enjoying that sight, was all been finally gone off with the sight of that dead cow, and the memory of looking at that frightening scene just haunted her. It was again coming back to her, and she was viewing again, she was been viewing the same dead cow, and that was been frightening her, that was horrifying. She no longer wanted to look out the window. So all her enthusiasm, all her excitement to look out, to enjoy the scene was been gone, and she was been overwhelmed by the sadness which the grief, and she was been very painful about looking of remembering that dead cow. She sat thus glued to her seat until the bus reached her village at 3:40. So finally the bus reached back. Until that time, from there itself, she just kept sitting silently, and she was been mourning, probably she was been sad about of finding that young cow to be dead. So finally by 3:40 she was back in her village, and she stood up and stretched herself. Then she turned to the conductor and said, finally she came out of that grief, and she just see-offed the conductor with a note, well sir, I hope to see you again. Okay madam, he answered her smiling. So finally he just greeted her that okay, whenever you like to ride the bus, you are welcome here. So, and Vali also made a note that probably it was a nice trip, and I hope, she was quite hopeful that she would take some another day, she would take one more ride like this as she had today. Whenever you feel like a bus ride, come and join us, and don't forget to bring your fare. So this is how the conductor made his last note, and just out of making fun, making her cheerful, he just said to don't forget to bring the 30 paisa fare which was required to ride the bus. She laughed and jumped down from the bus. Then away she went, running straight for home. So finally she was off the bus, and she was running towards her home back. When she entered her house, she found her mother awake and talking to one of Vali's aunts, the one from South Street. So one of the visitors was there, and she was Vali's aunt from the South Street, and both the ladies, Vali's mother, she was also awake, and she was chatting with her aunt. This aunt was a real chatterbox, never closing her mouth once she started talking. So she found her to be very talkative, and that's why she was compared to a chatterbox, means always being talking. And where have you been? Said her aunt when Vali came in. So there was a casual question from Vali by her aunt, just to identify or to inquire about very casually. She spoke very casually, not expecting a reply. So Vali just smiled, and her mother and aunt went on with their conversation. So finally Vali just ignored to give answer, and just reply to that question, she just gave a nice social smile. And where, yes, you are right, said her mother said, no, so many things in our midst, in the world outside. How can we possibly know about everything? And even when we do know about something, we often can't understand it completely, can we? So they were been discussing about the outside world, and they were being curious about that there can be n number of things which we do not know, and if suppose we know also, then too it is not possible to know everything completely. So finally they were been wondering about the outside world. Oh yes, breathed Vali. So finally, Vali also gave her, and she also entered into that conversation with her consent. What? Asked her mother. What's that you say? And her mother was just been surprised finding Vali to take an interest in that conversation. Oh, said Vali, I was just agreeing with what you said about things happening without our knowledge. So basically Vali was been trying to justify why she was been and why she entered into this conversation altogether, and just she shared that probably she also agree with that there can be n number of things which would be happening without our knowledge. So Vali was making a remark at this moment which was been beyond the maturity level of her age, and her mother did not expect any mature kind of remarks from Vali at that moment. Just a chit of a girl, she said her, she is, said her aunt. And both the ladies were being a bit surprised to find such a mature remark from Vali. And yet look how she pokes her nose into our conversation, just as though she were a grown lady. So they found that remark was too mature from Vali, and they did not like the interference in between their conversation. Vali smiled to herself. She didn't want them to understand her smile, and Vali was just been smiling, remembering her experience of the day which she had, that bus ride, and that made her to smile, and but she did not want that whatever the thought process which she was being smiling for, which she was being happy to have that experience on that day, should be revealed in any manner to both the ladies. But then there wasn't much chance of that, was there? So finally she was being just thinking of that probably these two ladies would never come to know what all excursive, very beautiful trip she had just secretly taken, and she has experienced that outside world for which they are been into conversation, and it was a mystery for them, but she has just explored that mysterious beautiful world through that bus journey, and she has experienced beautiful aspects of the life, and also she on the return she also experienced that a sadful event which happened, that the cow was being dead. So she experienced both the various facets of the life as well as the death, the sadness of the death in her first journey. So this is how finally this chapter ends here. This chapter has been translated from the Tamil version, which was written by K.S. Sundaram. So now let us discuss some of the internal questions of this chapter. On page number 117, question number, see the question on page number 117. Let's discuss that first question here. That's the first internal question. What was Vali's favorite pastime? Let's move a bit further. Okay, see here the first internal question is, what was Wali's favorite pastime? This is the first internal question which is very important here. So, you will find the answer on page number 17 in the first para. See here page number 17, the first para, and in this first para the third line, her favorite pastime was standing in the front of the doorway of her house, watching what was happening in the street outside. There were no playmates of her own age on her street, and this was about all she had to do. So, finally, this complete paragraph, these lines would the paragraph where from you can frame your answer. Okay. Now, let us move to one or two more internal questions which are on page number 122. So, there are two more internal questions here on page number 122. Let us discuss them also. Now, why does Wali stand up on the seat? Does she see now? So, this question has been asked when she was taking a bus ride and she was been standing on her seat. So, the answer is on page number 120 in third para. See here page 120, para number 3 and first line. See, Wali devoured everything with her eyes, but when she started looking outside, she found her view cut off by a canvas blind that covered the lower part of her window. So, she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. So, this section, this particular paragraph gives you the answer of the question. Now, one more question, why didn't Wali want to make friends with elderly women? What made her to be resistive towards that elderly woman who just took the seat along with Wali? So, this is the question number 4. Now, let us see, the answer is on page number 121 and the last para on page number 121. See here, Wali found the woman absolutely repulsive, such big holes in her earlobes and such ugly earrings in them. She could smell the betel nut the woman was chewing and see the betel juice that was threatening to spill over her lips at any moment. So, we can continue here. Yes. Who could be sociable with such a person? So, finally, this line gives an impression that she found the lady to be unpleasant to socialize with. Now, we have one more internal question here on page number 125. So, let us move to page number 125 to find this question here. How did Wali save up money for her first journey? Was it easy for her? And for this answer, the answer of this question lies on page number 122. See here the part 3 and the second line. She had thriftily saved whatever stray coins came her way, resisting every temptation to buy peppermints, toys, balloons and the like, and finally she had saved total of 60 paisa. How difficult it had been, particularly that day at the village fair, but she had resolutely stifled a strong desire to ride the merry-go-round even though she had the money. So, this complete paragraph gives you the answer of this question. You can frame the answer according to the marking of the question. So, you can answer this question from here. So, with this we have done all the important aspects of this chapter and the internal questions which could be probably some of the important questions of this chapter. Hopefully, all the concepts of this and the story is been well understood by you through this video. I hope we will be able to clarify all your doubts in the live session. Thank you, students.